Hello, time travelers. This is a really quick Starfield video because I've been playing a lot lately. I know I typically do stable diffusion AI videos, but I knew the Starfield community needed this. Are you having problems going back and forth building your outpost and trying to figure out what resources you need and it's getting tiresome? Especially during early game, I have a solution for you. It's a spreadsheet that does all the math. You basically just plug in how many of each thing you need, and it tells you what resources you need to build them. So you don't have to run back and forth from your outpost beacon to vendors and going back, oh, I still need 3 iron, or whatever. This is my look of disapproval. Recently, I've been having troubles with my computer. Maybe it's a driver problem, I'm not sure. But my editing software is flickering and freaking out. And it took me a few weeks to do my previous video about GPUs. It's a really informative video if you want to know more about how a GPU works in gaming and also doing AI stuff. Click the card right here. And I'd appreciate a comment and a full view on that video so I get the watch time, because I've only been able to do that video over a period of a few weeks due to the issues with my editing software. I don't know what it is. I've been trying different things. Anyways, moving on to this video. When I was doing early game in Starfield, I found this webpage right here that I'm going to show you that I have linked in the spreadsheet. And it's got how much of each resource you need to build each early game outpost thing. You know, for example, if you need a transfer container, it's 5 tungsten, 4 lubricant, and 8 iron. And I saw this page and I immediately thought, what if I had a spreadsheet that was able to do the math for me? And let me show you how that works. So I've got this spreadsheet and I'm gonna delete all of these. Be careful that when you delete in here, you delete only this column and only from there all the way down to there. Don't delete anything else in here. And you see these NAs? Those are formulas that are able to do all the math for you and spit out every resource. So let's say I just built a brand new outpost and it only has aluminum and iron. And I recommend this is your first outpost, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So you're just putting 1 aluminum extractor, just one of those, right? Scroll down to iron, extractor iron. And then you want solid containers. So what I do is I hit Control F, and I'm not gonna do a bunch of crazy editing with zooming in on what I'm doing here. I highly recommend you watch this on PC and full screen this video. And the reason why I'm doing that is that it makes my editing software glitch out even more, even though I like to do that on my videos. I'm sorry. So solid storage container, I found it by hitting Control F, which brings up this box. I typed solid and then I went down to it. And I'm gonna need 6 of those because I want 3 each for each storage container, which you probably saw in other Starfield videos, where you link them together. What else am I gonna need? I'm gonna need a landing pad with a ship builder. Ship builder, okay? I just need 1 of those. And I'm gonna need power generator, So if it's a moon, assume you're gonna do solar. If it's got no atmosphere. If it's got an atmosphere, assume you're going to be using a wind generator. So let's say in this case it's a moon because we're going to go to Bessel 3B. I'll tell you why in a minute. Solar. Let's just start with 4 of those. I can always go to a vendor again to get more stuff. You'll get used to how many you'll need of each. And even if you have to take 2 trips to vendors, it's not like you're making 6 or 12. So you got extractors, you got containers, you got solar, and you're going to want to build a bed to sleep, which is 1 of those. And you're going to want to build a workbench, industrial workbench, and that's going to help you EXP farm. And that's all you need is those things. Why you need a bed is so you can sleep. And while you sleep, your extractors generate the resources. You may not need a workbench at every outpost, but at least your XP farming one you will, because you're going to be using it. I'll show you why in a minute. And so in this case, you're going to need a total of 36 adaptive frames, 3 alkanes, 64 aluminum, etc., etc., etc. Since you need this much aluminum, you could, if you don't have that much on credits to buy aluminum, just build the extractor, a couple solar things, and a bed. And then you sleep on the bed, and you keep checking the extractor, and when it's full, do not pull the stuff out of the extractor. What's in the extractor will count towards your inventory for building stuff while you're at the outpost. Anything that's in the inventory at the outpost counts towards anything you build at the outpost. But anyway, so let's say you have this spreadsheet all worked out and you're gonna go make a trip to some vendors to buy stuff. Let's say you already have 1 alkanes and you already have 15 aluminum on you and another 12 aluminum in your ship's inventory. So you do that for all of these. Say you already have your 80 iron and you have another 20 iron on the ship. Now it's going to say negative, so you don't have to buy any iron. You do that for all of these and then go do your shopping list. But when you go and clear this out later, don't delete this cell, or this one over here, okay? And you don't want to delete any of these or any of these, because these are the numbers that I got from this web page. Now I'm going to show you how to copy this spreadsheet to your own Google Sheets account so that you can have your own shopping list in it without messing with this one. Simple. You just go to sheets.google.com. Now that you're at the page, if you have multiple Google accounts, you're good. I'm not going to click on it or hover my mouse over it because it's going to dox me. But you click that and you click the Google account that you want to save the account in. In this case, I'm already logged into the Google account I want to use. You just hit the stupid looking plus sign to create a new document and copy paste a name over, or just type it yourself, Starfield Outpost Resources, or even better, let's name it after this YouTube video project name, because it just came up with that a few minutes before hitting record in OBS today. And then go to my spreadsheet that I have linked in the descriptables, obviously. Click in the A1 cell on the top left, and then hit Control A, which is select all, and then Control C, which is copy. Alt Tab to get you over to your spreadsheet, or just click on it, whatever you want to do. I'm not the boss of you. And hit Control V to paste. And this may look like it's frozen, but it's not. Now you've got all this data in there, but it's not formatted yet, right? What you want to do now is click in the cell F1 where the adaptive frame is, and then hold shift on your keyboard and then keep pressing right on your keyboard until you get all of the different resources highlighted all the way up to 0 wire, which is column BH. And then you go to format, rotation, custom angle, and then choose 75 degrees. That's going to make it so that you can read these without them being super wide, but they're still wide. We'll fix that. Now you want to click on the row header, not the actual row or any of the cells. Find the barely visible horizontal scroll bar, go all the way back, and while holding shift, click on the row for F, which is adaptive frames, right click that, and then look for resize. Where are you? Resize columns, F through BH, type a 20 in the box and hit enter. Now it looks like that. Now you want to resize A, B, C, and D, and E manually, like so. We want that to be just past the edge of where it says commercial, right next to that extractor. And this need column only has to be so wide. And this note only has to be so wide. You know what I mean? And the power, like that. Now you've got this. Now delete if I've left any numbers in here, I'm sorry. Delete what's in the need column without deleting any cells that actually have words or messages. You see how I deleted this part? Now, down here to the left, these formulas that say NA, and then delete these without deleting any of these formula ones. Now it's saved. You're done. You can hit Control S on your keyboard if you want. And if you want to reference the page where I've got this information, you can click here and it loads the web page. And all these ones that say TBD, I've got 2 things to say about that. Number one, this is what it said on this web page. It said TBD, which means to be determined. And also, now that I've got a bunch of perks leveled up, I don't use the spreadsheet as much anymore, and I build these larger storage things, and I use the industrial extractors. And even though the data for those is not in here, the reason is, and this is reason number 2, is that if your perks are leveled up, things cost less, and you're not going to be using the spreadsheet as much. But early game, you're going to be using the spreadsheet all the time. Now we're going to be talking about where you should build your first outpost so that you can level up really fast, because I got to level 150 within a week. I was already like at 48 or something like that, and then I figured this out. It was based off of a couple videos you could see. I've linked one of them in the description. First, I saw one video about going to one place, and this other guy made a video where he cussed out a bunch of people for using that planet, and he's super rude and super mean. But anyways, I'm linking his video anyway, because it's where I got the information. You go to Bessel 3B, and I'll show it to you. So I got the game running. Here's Alpha Centauri, and just above it is Bessel. Go that, go that, go to that. And Bessel 3 is right there, and Bessel 3B is to the right. And here's my Bessel 3B Outpost 1 where I was going for a while. And from the video I was talking about earlier, he was trying to do like 4 or 5 resources from one spot, and then I realized you only need 2 resources to level up, and that's aluminum and iron, and that's what I was doing at this one. So I'm going to show you how I would do it if I were doing it just to start. Scan the planet for resources. There's iron. Aluminum's a dark green. There's a spot where I found it in between. There was a place I tried right there. Is you find where the 2 resources are close to each other, right? Kind of tough on this moon. Well, let's just pretend that this nickel is aluminum, and I want both aluminum and iron. That says mountains when you click it, and this says hills. You choose one of them, and you keep going over like 1 pixel until that 1 pixel is the difference between the 2 biomes. Right there, and then you land. This doesn't always work, but this works at least half the time. The other half the time, you land in the middle of a resource that's the hardest for you to find from all the other times you tried. So what does that mean? You've tried a few times and you can only find the 1 resource, right? So you land in the middle of the other resource and then walk a giant circle around your ship, and that'll work. But first, try it the other way. When you exit your ship, go to build the thing and move it around, and in this place, you see I can get cobalt, nickel, platinum, and water. I escape out of that. I go back to here. I scan it again. I know I saw nickel, but no iron, and now I see iron to the northeast. Exit back out. Wait for the stupid thing on the bottom left to stop telling you about the planetary condition. Like, oh my freaking gosh, I'm trying to see. Okay, I need to walk northeast. So point north, and that's northeast. And so all I do is just keep going northeast until I see the other resource show up. And I'm also keeping an eye out on the terrain to see if the biomes change. If you see the biomes are changing, like there's a clear line in between them, oh, that's so much easier. All you do is just turn right or turn left and walk along the edge of that biome. So technically there's 3 ways to find your spot. One is to try to land right in between them and just scan around till you find it. The second way is to find the edges of the biome by walking, and then walk along the edge of that and keep scanning with having the outpost beacon placement thing out like I have right here. And the third way is, after you've tried the other 2, just land in the middle of a resource that's the hardest to find and walk in a big circle around that. All right, now I am at my XP farm. There's my containers. I have the extra large ones now because I've upgraded. Don't worry about that part. And don't worry about building an actual outpost building. You don't need that right away. Or this thing. When you build your outpost beacon, the first thing you want to do is build the landing pad with ship builder. And I'll show you why. Once you have it built, your ship won't be on it. But what you're going to do is go over here, interact with the thingy computer, hit view and modify ships. Choose the option on the bottom that brings you into ship builder. For me, it's G because I've changed my key bindings. And then just keep pressing escape to get out of there. You turn and you'll see your ship's like marker is there, but you won't see your ship. You want to immediately hard save the game, not a quick load, which is just in here. And after you save it, immediately load it. And then you'll see your ship. If you don't see your ship, exit the game, reload the game, and reload your save. Then you see the ship. The reason is because anything you are trying to build on your outpost, whether it's an extractor, power, anything, or even a workbench, it will be using resources from your inventory, these things, the extractors, and what's in the ship. So when you do your shopping, you could put the resources in your ship and leave them in the ship. As long as it's sitting on your outpost with ship builder, it will make it within range for you to use what's in it. Now I'm going to show you how to level up. Hold on a second. I like to put it right by the stairs. And later on, when I have more resources and to make it more comfortable for myself, I build an outpost thingy and put these things inside. But the 2 main important things that get you started is a bed and industrial workbench. I'll show you why. On Bessel 3B, you have a ridiculous conversion time of local time to UT. You turn this all the way up. You don't even have to turn it all the way up. You only have to sleep 6 local hours to fill 3 small containers of iron and 3 small containers of aluminum. But it does 346 hours UT when you do that. And what does that do for me? That gives me a status of well rested for 24 minutes of plus 10% XP gain. You optionally can also go grab Alien Tea. Let's see if I have any. This, yeah, here we go. This gives you another 2% XP gain for 30 minutes. That changes the status to, it doesn't tell you right there. It says 2 plus 2 right there and plus 10. So it's a total of 12% added XP gain. Now you want to go over to your industrial workbench. And this top item is industrial frame. Making these is also going to help you make most of your early game outpost structures, mostly the containers. But you just click to bring it up. You put your mouse cursor right over where it's going to change the quantity to 99. And you spam the confirm button on your keyboard and the left mouse button at the same time, constantly. Like so. And I just leveled up. But now that I'm at level 150, I will not level up as quickly as I did early game. But if we watch the little XP thing at the bottom, I'm getting over 1,000 XP for every 4 seconds. And you just keep doing this, and you keep an eye on the inventory on the top right corner of your screen. It says I have 999 plus aluminum and 999 plus iron. And when that runs out, exit out, quick save. And I like to stand here until it stops saying adaptive frame on the top right, even though the quick save may be done. I just personally like to see it say quick save on my screen. And then I go sleep for 6 hours again and come back. And I did that for a few days, and I was at a level 150. Also, while doing this, you're going to be able to sell all those adaptive frames for credits. In a week, I made over 35 million credits doing this. You'll be able to eventually build your outpost buildings and build research lab in there and research stuff that you're going to need for later. That research will unlock weapon mods. That research will unlock spacesuit mods. That research, along with using the points you get for leveling up to level up your perks, is going to give you the ability to build better extractors and better containers and other things on your outposts. And don't forget the spaceship perks, because there's a couple of them you're going to want to keep upgrading so that you can both build and fly Class C ships. And that's the end of this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe, all the things, the algorithm, and make sure you subscribe to the channel and come over on Thursdays, because every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. around that time, I'm streaming Starfield on my channel. All right, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you next time.